All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to bring the regular school committee meeting of November to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Ms. Canolo. Here. Ms. Carney. No. Mr. Charbonneau. Here. Ms. Drewby. Ms. Fernandez. Here. Ms. Grant. Here. Mr. Shalal.
Here, may I ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right. First item is going to be special reports from the students. First, school, Shea High School, Charles E. Shea Senior High School.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Glenera Santos, and I am here to tell you some of our Shea happenings. To start up, many colleges and universities and programs have stopped by Shea to inform seniors on many great opportunities for us. On October 12th, we held our open house. It was a great success, and the entire Shea community was excited to meet parents and future students. Thank you to the school staff who stayed and informed parents, and thank you to all the students who volunteered. We held our homecoming dance the day after with the homecoming game. Although there wasn't a win from our boys, we are still so proud of them and look forward to their senior night next Tuesday at the Thanksgiving Classic against Tolman. A big thank you to Mrs. Monahan and Ms. Pezza for their endless support and effort to make the dance an amazing night for all of us. Key Club is collecting non-perishables for a food drive until November 21st. Shea held a successful blood drive on October 30th. There were 26 pints of blood donated and 78 lives saved. Shout out to all the students and a special thank you to Ms. Pezza for organizing this and all the hard work she does for Shea. The Student Council held a bake sale, which all proceeds went to RI Pink Heels in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. Seniors are finalizing plans for senior trip. The boys and girls cross-country teams finished their seasons at a Class B championship meet on Saturday. Nazari Zayas, Daniel Wang, Nassim Yakteen, Javon Samito, and Matias Calvo Gonzalez all ran strong races. Congrats to all for a great season, and our track begins November 27th. We would also like to congratulate our girls soccer team on an outstanding season. They finished with a 13-2-1 record and a #1 seed in the year's playoffs. And although our girls volleyball team ended with them being runner-ups at the championship game, we are still so proud of them and all the work they put into this season. We were also able to hold 2 pep rallies this past month. Our homecoming pep rally, in which we pumped everybody up for the game and dance, as well as a Halloween pep rally, which we had a costume contest. Thank you to everyone who was involved in making this past month a success at Shea. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. Can we have the representative from Tolman Senior High School?
Hello, everybody. My name is Jayla Labassier. I'm currently a senior at Tolman High School. Tolman held its annual pep rally on October 26th. The event marked the end to a great spirit week as we finished all of our fall sports teams. Good luck to all of our fall sports teams. Our homecoming dance was held on Thursday evening, October 26th. This was the best attended dance we have held at Tolman in the last 12 years. The final attendance was slightly over 300 students. The students had a great time and we raised a lot of money for our junior and senior classes. On Wednesday, November 8th, the Tolman JROTC program celebrated the 248th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. This is an annual tradition that takes place in the Tolman Auditorium. This year's honoree was Corporal Michael Zano. The Tolman Color Guard and 12 cadets took time on Saturday, November 11th, to help honor our nation's veterans participating in the annual ceremonies organized by the Pawtucket Veterans Council. The Tolman girls volleyball team lost in the championship match on Sunday afternoon. The girls played well, forcing a 5th and deciding game before the eventual loss. Congratulations to the girls on a tremendous season. On Monday, November 6th, the girls soccer team fell in the state semifinals. The girls lost by 1 goal to end their season. Congratulations to all of the girls on a great season. Thank you.
Student representative from Jacqueline Walsh, Performing School of the Visual Arts.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Souza, and I'm a senior visual arts major at Jacqueline Moss School for the Visual Arts. Since our last update, we had our picture day and held our JMW Perspective Student Open House. Our ultimate JMW student competition on October 20th was a nearly sold-out event and was a huge success. Our 10th and 11th grade film students had the opportunity to tour the New England Institute of Technology and learn more about the programs that they offer, including evening courses that 7 of our juniors and seniors are currently enrolled in, as well as learning more about the possibility of a dual enrollment program for their senior year. Some of our film students participated in the Red Ribbon Rally and enjoyed seeing both Shay and Tolman's performances. We were thrilled to have so many student athletes this year playing for the Pawtucket Fall Sports. We had 8 students on the Tolman girls tennis team and 6 cheerleaders for the Pawtucket co-op cheer team. The students appreciated having the opportunity and enjoyed being able to go to the Tolman pep rally. On Halloween, our student council teamed up with Aramark to do spooky themed foods and fall treats for breakfast and lunch. Our students loved collaborating with Aramark and bringing ideas to life. Our mock trial team kicked off our third year with a trial against Hendricken last week. It was a close trial, and we are looking forward to our next trial in December. We came short by 0.5 of a point. Last week, our Trium Music Honor Society held its induction ceremony for new members and also recognized the continuing members. Prepare Rhode Island came to present our juniors last week about summer opportunities. In addition, we've had weekly college visits as our juniors begin their college search and our seniors begin to apply to schools. This past weekend, some of our students had the opportunity to perform at the Pawtucket Veterans Day celebration. And this week is exciting as we have student and teacher representatives at the convention center each day to represent JMW at the Junior Achievement events. I personally got to attend today and loved being able to talk to so many 8th graders and potential future JMW students. We have many events planned for the year, but the ones coming up soon that we are excited about as a school are Student Council is holding their first ever JMW Harvest Festival, which will be on Monday, November 20th in this space from 5 to 7 p.m. We'll have live music, food, and an art fair where our students will be showcasing some of their own artwork. I encourage you all to attend if you'd like to. It's this coming Monday, 5 to 7 p.m. Our first ever yearbook cover contest is in the works, and artwork is due November 22nd. We can't wait to see who wins. On December 3rd at 6:30, our JMW music students will be performing at Slater Park's Winter Wonderland. And on December 13th, our chorus and dance students will be putting on a holiday showcase. Our full arts semester culmination will be on January 11th, 2024. Thank you very much.
Very much, thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda is public participation. Before we start with it, I'd like to make an announcement due to the amount of people signing up. We are going to limit it to a strict 3 minutes. Whether it's something that we've heard before or brand new, it's going to be 3 minutes for public participation so we can get into our meeting. And we're going to start off with Michael.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Michael Pompili, 21 Longley Court. The school committee should have received a letter last week from Mayor Grebian and Council President Mercer with an attached proposal from the Soloviev Foundation to make a $40 million investment in our community to renovate McCoy Stadium into a multi-use facility that would coexist with the proposed unified high school and would specifically accommodate high school sports. Mr. Levy mentioned at the October 25th City Council meeting that he thought Mr. Soloviev was naive to believe this could be accomplished, although he admitted at the time that no formal design exercises had been done. As Mr. Soloviev's proposal is accompanied by an itemized construction estimate from D'Amber Construction and Alborg Construction, the selected proposal out of multiple received by Soloviev Group, it seems the exercise has been done. Something tells me that D'Amber and Alborg wouldn't waste their time bidding on a project they didn't believe was feasible. McCoy Stadium has a long history of hosting high school sports, including football, both in the years it had no professional team in the 1950s and 60s and during the residency of the Pawtucket Indians and the Red Sox. An independent or summer collegiate baseball team, Independent and summer collegiate baseball teams share high school facilities all over the country, including 9 teams right here in New England that play on high school campuses. If allowing fans onto school grounds for games is a security concern, as Mr. Levy alluded to on October 25th, we may want to rethink the venue for these school committee meetings as we are on school grounds, or whether we allow fans to attend high school games or performances at all. I've said before that I believe the renovation of Shea and Tolman, as the voters approved in 2018, is the right thing to do for the students of Pawtucket, who should not have to wait 5 or most likely more years to attend class in a building that's not crumbling around them, and my belief on that has not changed. However, as the proposed unified high school is advancing, it should do so in collaboration with Soloviev Group to integrate McCoy Stadium into the site plan, so we as a city can accept this generous private investment to save one of our greatest cultural resources. Thank you.
Next, Kathleen.
Hello, everyone. School committee members, thank you very much for your hard work. Educators of all types, thank you so much, community members. I come as a representative of the Save McCoy Stadium Committee and a representative of a petition of thousands of people who are asking to please consider the Soloviev proposal to save McCoy Stadium and to look into another site for the high school or other options. I will be talking about unity and connection. And to talk about unity and connection, we must talk about due diligence and transparency. As educators, you must be the example that you teach. And this is very difficult, but it is meaningful, and it is an education that lasts in the minds of your students. The democratic process says that we look to uphold and teach and instill in our students. How do we do this if we do not uphold this in our systems in place and act within the confines of laws and ethics? And if we do not, the cracks and decay that trickle down grow and further division. As we know, a lot of the issues that you deal with in our education system start at home. The disconnect and lack of participation in the community is hard to measure, but we see it in the education system in the lack of participation in attendance numbers, in graduation numbers. The city council and the mayor have asked that you take this proposal seriously. The community has asked that you take this proposal seriously. We are asking you to please take this proposal seriously. Due diligence, please do the job that you have signed up to do, that you've been elected to do. Research, plan Bs. This is a lot of money. This is a lot of responsibility. What happens if the plan fails? And I'm sorry, I will end here. Thank you so much for your time.
Next up is Amanda.
Hi, my name is Amanda Pompili. For those of you who don't know me, I am a teacher at Shea. I have kids who both graduated from Slater. I have a daughter who's a freshman at JMW this year and a son who goes to a charter school outside the district. The young lady who got up to speak as our student representative tonight, she is amazing. And she was telling me before this, her speech that she is taking multiple AP classes this year. She's a senior. She is being pressured by her math teacher to go into computer science. She is that special, right? And she said that last year she and some of her friends tried to come to the school committee and talk to them about the conditions at Shea. She said that she could get probably 50 kids to show up here to complain about the conditions at Shea, that the paint is peeling, the water is rusty, the bathrooms are lacking faucets and fixtures, the boys' bathrooms have broken doors. We are down to, I think, one teacher bathroom for each of men and women. There's another teacher bathroom that is out of service. My room has broken furniture. I can't let anybody sit on my tables for fear that they will collapse under them, which is, generally people shouldn't sit on tables anyway, and yet everyone does, because I am yelling at people 5 times a day. That table will break if you sit on it, because my tables are broken. I can't scoot them across the table. We have to lift them up and move them. I feel like a $40 million gift that the Soloviev Group is talking about giving us, taking the McCoy Stadium problem off of our hands. They are offering this. This is a offer that we can take or leave. Superintendent Royal told me personally that the maintenance budget is tight right now. They're not getting people in to fix the plumbing, to fix the problem that all the water fountains and all the toilets run hot by the end of the school day, and we don't know why. The problem that all of our windows are broken, like that, you can't open the windows for fear of them falling off the building. The problem of they never scraped and painted my room, and it has years and years of flaking paint on the walls. The fact that they never hung my whiteboard, and several other teachers do not have their whiteboard hung. And so I don't have board space, and my whiteboard was blocking my wall until very recently. So I couldn't hang a periodic table poster so I could teach chemistry, right? There's one thing that I need, and that's my poster, and I couldn't hang it. And I ended up having to get someone to prop up this whiteboard on its side, wedged between a file cabinet and one of my broken windows. And I'm not sure that it's even a safe place to put it, but I needed the wall to put my poster on, right? So I can think of so many things that we could do with $40 million. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up is Ian.
Good evening. My name is Ann Toole, and I am a teacher at Baldwin Elementary School. Last week at the school committee meeting, Dr. Tate presented data about our reading and math scores. They are not good, and we need to do better for our students. She also mentioned we are working on increasing attendance, and this should definitely help. But I have a question for this committee. Why do we have grade level standards? I'm sure you're all sitting there wondering, who is this person? How is she a teacher, and why is she working in our school district? Let me explain. We have adopted the Rhode Island core standards, but we do not hold our students accountable for achieving them. Every year, students who are far below grade level are assigned to the next grade. It doesn't matter how far behind they are, as long as we move them. This is a disservice to our students, our teachers, and our community. And every year, it's the same thing. As a teacher, what else can you do to move these students? Every few years, it's a new curriculum. And what else can you do? Last week, I attended an RTI meeting for one of my students who's far below and far behind. The progress being made this year is minimal, and yet the student is in school regularly, works with the reading and math specialists, and myself. I was told the reading and math specialists need to work with this child below grade level, and it is my job to work with him on core curriculum only. I should be spending 20 minutes of my 60-minute block to get the students moving in the core curriculum, and spend the next 40 minutes of the block working with small groups strictly on core. This frustrates that student and all the other students who are significantly below grade level. Their knowledge and skills is so far below that the current of what we're teaching currently that it just goes straight over their head. I believe I should be teaching the core, but I also believe it is my job to help students be successful. They know they're not being successful on the core. No one has to tell them. The only people being asked to change and do better are the teachers. The only ones accountable are the teachers. I'm asking you and our superintendent to start holding students and parents accountable, as well as let teachers do their jobs. When we say students are not ready to work at the next grade level, we are ignored and must assign students to the next grade. We are professionals. We have studied education, data, and research. Students are more than data. They are not widgets made in a factory. They are humans, some of whom have been through trauma, and some of whom will take longer to meet their skills and knowledge. But our education system says this is the time frame it must be accomplished in.
Thank you, everyone who took time to come up for public participation. Next item on the agenda is, can I get a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes of September 28th, 2023? All right, motion made by Ms. Spinola, seconded by Deputy Chair Grant. Any discussion on the minutes? All those in favor? All those opposed? Okay, motion passes. Next item is under new business discussion action item. We're going to take letter A, approval of the Bradley MOA with St. Raphael Academy. Superintendent Ramsey?
Yes, good evening. Thank you, Chairman. Before you this evening is an MOA for Bradley Hospital to provide professional learning for St. Raphael's Academy faculty and staff on topics related to wellness for students and staff over the course of the school year. These sessions will run between 90 and 180 minutes and will take place over 5 sessions. These sessions are for faculty and staff only. The course curriculum will be presented by Bradley instructors. There's no cost to our district. This is fully funded by St. Raphael's Equitable Share Title II funds.
Motion by sorry about that, Mr. Charbonneau, seconded by Ms. Doobie. Discussion? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Ms. Manolo? Mr. Charbonneau? Ms. Doobie? Thank you. Ms. Doobie? Ms. Fernandez? Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Shalal?
Yes. Next item, request for proposal, RFP, Services for Owners Project Manager, OPM, Unified High School. Ms. Ramsey?
Good evening. The time has come for us to go out for services, for OPM services for our Unified High School. We have a RFP prepared, and pending this committee's approval, we can proceed forward with advertisement and closed bid opening in that timeline that's identified in the RFP.
Motion by Ms. Spinola, second by Ms. Doobie. Questions, Ms. Doobie?
Is this for stage 3 and stage 4? Is that how we okay, 'cause so the OPM we did before was up till stage 2. Okay, so this would be for the next 2 stages. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Yes, go ahead.
Do we have a timeline?
Yes, pending this approval, we're going to keep it open for 3 weeks keep it open for 3 weeks after the approval, thinking it can go into the newspaper late this week or early next week, 3 weeks from the day that it goes in. I do have dates in this.
Yeah, that's what my question was. It's gonna, proposal, the due date is December 8th. You guys have dealt with this before. Is that enough time? December 8th? Do you need a month to put it out, or? Okay, I didn't know if we needed longer, if we were up
That
against
was
anything.
at the recommendation of legal counsel as well.
Perfect, so if that, I didn't know if that was too tight, so good. All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Ms. Manolo? Mr. Charbonneau? Ms. Doobie? Ms. Fernandez? Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Shalal?
Yes. All right, next item on the agenda is for discussion items, enrollment report. Hirsch? If we have any discussion on the enrollments, they look fairly, does anyone have any questions for Hirsch? Anthony, go ahead.
Same question that I asked at the last meeting about the Baldwin enrollment, and I believe it was sent out but, to the whole committee. So, where Baldwin is tracking below 600 students if we include all the students at Baldwin, all the students who are at Winters, and all the students who have elected to go to another school during construction. So we're below 600. So as I was saying at the last meeting, that is interesting to look at here in comparison to some of our other elementary schools, where there was a time when Baldwin was much bigger, and that's not the case anymore. It's similar in size to a couple of other schools. So I just think it's yeah.
Right, because you're looking at the numbers that are out of that are the numbers who are at Winters.
Yes.
Right, and,
Yeah.
and
So
everywhere.
it's not
Right.
it's not accurate when we see the number 299.
Correct,
That's not
correct.
correct. But I
It's accurate as the way we report it to the state.
yeah.
If they're attending that school, they're not they belong to that school for Winters. For the-
That is the RICAS data reported as Winter's data?
It would be the school in which they took the
Okay.
test, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Which could be disaggregated, you know.
Okay. I was just curious. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Hirsch, anything about his looks?
No, it's pretty much, yeah, the numbers, which if you go back to some of your earlier packets, where you'll see the numbers from the beginning of the year, that's after we've teased out all of the students that may not report from the beginning, of the year that go into other school districts. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Hirsch. Next item is Unified High School Next Steps. Mr. Charbonneau requested to get us these, to have an open discussion on this. Ms. Ramsey, did you want to call up your team, or Joanne, did you want to call up Holly to the podium with Jonathan and? Okay. First one, if we can, or do you have some type of, I know you sent out the time frame to stage 2. Do you have a presentation, or do you want to go by bond and schedule and demo? What do you want to take up first? Or all three in one?
Yeah, it's fine. We can just have a conversation. We don't have, I mean, the schedule that you have, we may have even tweaked it a little bit since then. I had given it to Diana on Friday. But that is the schedule pretty much. But any questions you have regarding schedule or bonding?
So we have stage 2 approval listed for December.
Yes.
Is that what we're expecting?
Yes.
So RIDE has communicated that we're expected to be approved.
Yes,
stage
there was a supplemental list of information that was needed to be submitted, which was submitted. We're in great shape.
2. Okay, excellent.
Mr. Charbonneau?
Taking them all together, the, where was it? The demo timeline looks like it's April?
Yes.
No, that would be the
So the-
beginning of May, right? April, beginning of May?
Like here, right? So, well, we have abatement, right, which is 3 months. And the intent here, if you look at the schedule, it's all tied to your RFPs for your team. So when you have your OPM on, then they will go out with the architectural. And then as soon as the architect is picked and you're moving forward, at that point, they're going to immediately start doing the design package for the demo package. So that's what's tied. We were able to push up the demolition schedule based on when you would actually be locking in with an architect, because there's absolutely no reason that they wouldn't hit the ground running as far as the demolition plan. They're typically separate. We would go in with demo and the abatement and all first to RIDE for review while the schematic design was happening in the background.
So a couple of meetings ago, I had mentioned that I thought things should be happening simultaneously as we move forward, because we have, a schedule not only to keep, but once we get that final approval on stage 2, then the clock starts ticking immediately for reimbursement, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Once you have your approval, you can just go.
So have we had any conversations with the city as far as bonding schedules go?
Typically, with a project like this or any of these projects, once the award is given and the amount is what it is, but we went in with a very specific amount at the 330. Very often, RIDE will come back with approval that's not exactly that. They do their own, due diligence. And at that point, bond counsel with the city or towns then reach out and then they start going through, they probably will run 10 scenarios as to what works for them. What we do prior to that is with RIDE is we give them a 5-year projection on how we see the money being spent. Like we know in 2024, we're estimated about $30 million. So we have it based on the schedule that you're looking at. We then take the players, whether it's the architect, the OPM, and all the different trades, and we break down that, how the money will be spent. Obviously, we're running it at 330 for those 5 years. So we do have that. So typically, once it's approved, we would adjust it if RIDE changes the number, they may not, and then we would send that, we would someone would reach out to the city, and then we would send those numbers, and then bond counsel would run the numbers. So I'm assuming that would happen at the end of December, as soon as you have your approval.
Go ahead, Kim.
Holly, or Miss Ramsey, I guess I'm just wondering, is there someone from our district that is in constant contact and working with the city in regards to the timeline? I know they're looking to have an auction to auction off the items that are in McCoy. So we want to make sure that they get the amount of time that they need to get the items out of the building that they prefer to have auctioned off. And
Yeah, because actually there's some of that memorabilia I'm sure you're going to want in the high school, right? So we have not been in communication. We've been following it, as I'm sure you have, that it was delayed and now it was spring. With the demolitions starting, if you look at the schedule, if they do it in the spring, we're fine. But we have not, no one has reached out to us regarding that. It doesn't, it's not a big deal. I mean, honestly, they have the schedule because we had sent the entire stage 2 to the city, so they can see your timeline. But again, that's a conversation that should probably be had by the school committee.
Yeah, I think, just kind of out of respect, I think, they've handed over site control to us. And I think out of respect to the city and to McCoy Stadium, that, we need to reach out to them and kind of stay on top of, and make sure that we're both on the same, the same page.
Right.
Even though they do have the schedule, we all know that we just don't want to assume. And then all of a
Understood.
sudden we go to demolish and everyone's like, wait, the stuff's still in there.
Yeah.
So I think, I think, we really should kind of take ownership and leadership on this. And someone should be a liaison
Right.
to, during this process.
Okay.
I agree. I'll reach out to them. Because I've assumed that you were talking to the city side about, because they want to auction off seats, they want to auction off the big posters, but.
When we were in, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No, go ahead.
interrupt. When we were in front of the city council, we did talk about schedule and, that particular item they didn't discuss that, but they understood what would happen immediately, right? So, and I do know from a demolition perspective, you want to get that moving so there's no surprises, and time is money as well, right? So construction costs what it costs. The sooner you start, the more efficient it will be financially as well.
Okay. No conversations about what they want to take for, because they
As
did
far
push
as the
back.
desi- from a
They pushed
design
back the-
perspective?
Yeah, they did push back the seats, because they're gonna have an online type of bid, I saw, but that got pushed back. Was that in did
That
you?
had nothing to do with us.
No, all right.
No, and it's interesting because they have seats, and I mean, there are lots of things that, if the grandness of your high school, there'll be room to have memorabilia in there from that, right? So you do want to be able to have first dibs as to whatever it is that would be. So you had given it some thought.
Well, yes, I think the the most important thing is that there may be functional elements of the McCoy Stadium that we can incorporate into the new construction. For example, the new stadium seating that was added to increase the capacity of McCoy some years ago, not too long ago. My structural engineer thinks it may be possible to salvage that for the new Pariseau Field bleachers. So that would be one item. I think one way to address this problem is we can, not problem, but address this concern is to include the detail of a salvage period, which we've done on other projects, just have a salvage period as part of the demolition timeline.
Just since you came in, are you talking about the bleachers out in right field, or are you talking about seats that was added down the third baseline to
The seats
salvage?
added down the third baseline, if I
Really? Put
recall.
individual seats in?
Yes, yes.
Maybe sell some upgraded season tickets to the students?
I'm not promising, but
All right.
it's something that we want to
No,
explore.
that's a great
Yeah.
idea.
And it could be cost saving, and it could also have the benefit of having a sentimental presence of some McCoy Stadium on it.
That's great. Go ahead, Masha.
I have a question. So, who actually, I know that they gave us site control, but whose decision, like, who owns the stuff within McCoy right now? The city? The city still, okay, okay. That's what I thought. I'm just surprised that there hasn't been a conversation, okay? Okay.
Any other discussion for our team? All right, hearing none. Thank you guys very much.
Okay, of
Appreciate
course.
it. Thank you for the thorough timeline that's going down. Next item is, okay, we're at the superintendent's update. Ms. Ramsey.
Good evening. I'm happy to speak on behalf of Superintendent Royal this evening with the superintendent updates. Red Ribbon Rally was on 10/26. The Red Ribbon Week concluded with an annual Red Ribbon Rally on 10/26 at Goff Middle School. The winners this year were Elementary School Cunningham with their Red Patrol presentation. The middle school was Slater Middle School, which was Take Time to Spread the Word. And the high school was Shea with Pathways. The overall best school spirit was Goff Middle School. We had a hiring fair on November 1st. Our Human Resources Department held its first job fair of the year, focusing on teacher assistants and substitutes. We had over 60 applicants who attended and were able to offer jobs on the spot. If you're interested, those of you out there, if you're interested in joining the Pawtucket team, please visit our website at www.psdri.net, little PSA there. Attendance Matters. Mrs. Royal attended Attendance Matters Rhode Island. This initiative was created to emphasize our commitment to reducing chronic absenteeism. Superintendent Royal serves on that board. Our monthly principals meeting on November 7th. The principals met for their monthly meeting. The session, like previous sessions, was full of beneficial information. Principals gained a deeper understanding of 504 functions, the correlation between state assessment and iReady, and how to improve school culture. In addition to support our district's attendance goal, 2 schools received attendance awards. This month's winners were Henry J. Winters Elementary School and Potter Burdens Elementary School. Congratulations to them and all schools working hard on their attendance goals. The Marine Corps had their birthday on November 8th. The members of Tolman JROTC took part in the Marine Corps birthday celebration. The Marine Corps celebrated 248 years. And that concludes the superintendent updates.
Of course. Yep. I thought you had a lot more on that paper. All right, school committee members update. If you don't mind, we'll start with Masha. Ms. Bonolo?
We had a wellness meeting on, my calendar closed, on Monday, on October 26th. We had about 10 community members come and be involved in it. We'll do a public service announcement. We've talked about trauma-informed classrooms being on the agendas in the future. We've talked about hydroponics and a large agenda just for Aramark. We're getting involved in recess time, and we would welcome any of our staff that would be interested in developing the wellness within the district for the students, not only the students, but also for the staff. And our next meeting is Monday, November 27th, and we would love to have you with us. Projects in the community, in the district are ongoing, and nothing has come to completion since I've talked to you last.
Thank you, Ms. Manolo. Mr. Charbonneau.
I just want to acknowledge those members of the community who spoke in public participation and voiced their concern or their advocacy for certain things. I think that's what democracy is about. I think people need to keep pushing this city for transparency. And I applaud those members of the community who came out, took time out of their schedule tonight to speak on issues that were important to them.
Ms. Doobie.
I want to applaud the district for its work on attendance. I know as a parent, I'm receiving weekly from my kids' middle school the percentage of where the attendance is and a measurable place of where they want the attendance to be. And it's not actually that far apart from where the goal is of 95%. So those constant reminders, that's new this year. That's not something I used to get. And also helpful resources that are being shared with the parents through that newsletter if they're having trouble getting their kid to school on time, what they who they could reach out to, I think is really helpful. So I know I'm getting it from my kids' middle school. I'm hoping that that's something that all schools are doing, and that's district-wide. But I want to shout out that. I think that's great. Besides that, good night.
Thank you. Deputy Chair Grant.
First of all, I want to share my condolences to the Beaupre family. Ron, president of our union, our teachers union, and a teacher at Little, his sisters and his mom on the passing of their father and husband. I also want to congratulate Cunningham. I had noticed that the governor has been tracking the absenteeism, and Cunningham's absentees have actually, their attendance was up 3.75% this week. And it might not sound like a lot, but, it can make a difference. Teachers can't be held responsible for numbers in testing if kids aren't in school. So if the kids aren't there to teach, then, so we really need to, try to get our students there. So hopefully every week going forward, we'll see call outs from the state and things like that. I also kind of just wanted to touch base a little bit. I know last week Dr. Tate did a presentation, and today we had a speaker in regards to Baldwin. And I've been listening to some, some things that have been going up at the State House and some things in regards to education that they're looking into. And, the teacher who had come up is, I agree with her. All the kids in our classroom, think about the children you have. You have maybe 3 kids. None of them are alike. They're all very different. And imagine teaching a classroom of 30 students who are all completely different, but you're teaching them one curriculum, one way. Our teachers don't have time within their day to spend that individual time with 30 students, 25 to 30 students in a class. And unfortunately, unless, funding changes, there are strides in this type of career. More students are graduating. we're not going to make these big leaps and bounds. Are we going to try? Of course we are. But I really do think the districts need to really start working with the legislatures to make sure that we can get funding, more funding, for more classrooms, more teachers, stipends for, extra things that they do with students. But for us to really make these big, huge strides, things really do need to change. And they need to change from the top. There are so many things that we as a committee don't have control over. They either come from the government, the state legislatures, or the commissioner. Do we always, does Pawtucket always want to be on the bottom? Do we always want our students, our numbers to be the ones that are on the bottom? Of course not. But there do need to be some big changes. And, I really do think it's time that we all really do start, talking to our legislatures to make these big differences so we can get smaller classrooms, so we can work with these students one-on-one. We just came through COVID and, it's a little ways back, but some of our students are still trying to catch up. And, I think like a teacher who did come up and speak tonight, they're giving their all, but they can only do so much, and they're only given so many resources. And, unfortunately, things got changing in the money. We hear it all the time. Poor Anthony, when we ask for money, he'll state to us, there's no money, there's no money. But we have to figure out a way. If our kids need it and our teachers need it, we have to figure out a way to make things better. And I do think it's a little bit more than, us. I really do think when it comes down to it, it is the funding that comes to the districts. And we really have to start fighting for that, because I think then we can provide more resources for our teachers. And for our students. But I just wanted to share that. Sorry for going on and on. And I hope you all have a nice holiday. So thank you.
All right, thank you all. To everyone, have a great Thanksgiving, be safe. And can I get a motion for adjournment? Motion to adjourn by Ms. Pennell, second by Ms. Grant. All those in favor? All those opposed? Thank you.